Hey everyone, Brittany Green here from Get It Out Coaching. I am your relationship and personal empowerment coach. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about self-discovery. It has been a journey for me to discover myself, and I continue to keep doing it. It's not anything that's ever stopped, and I don't see it ever stopping either. It's going to keep going, and hopefully you will understand this as we get a little bit more into it. Because I think when we think about self-discovery, we see it as a destination. In reality, it's really just a journey, and a journey that is going to you're going to have the most amazing people in your corner, the most amazing experiences come up for you to help push you and form you into the person you're supposed to be authentically. You know, we live in this society, and I think more so now than ever, our lives are being turned upside down in the middle of this quarantine, and we are really having to face the truth of who we are, what we really want, what was serving us, what isn't, and how we're going to show up in order to get through this time and be better people, better humans, better people on the planet. And I think that it's so congruent with self-discovery, and I don't think it's by accident. I really think that God and, his band of angels and the universe are all corresponding together in order to help us navigate this time and also to push us to do better and be better. So ways that you can discover yourself a little bit more. Journaling is so powerful. It feels a little redundant in the beginning, especially if you're not one to really, use that art form as a mode of expression. But when you really can get down to it and just give yourself a time limit. Set a timer for 5 minutes and just journal out your thoughts. Just write down your thoughts. Write out what you're experiencing, how the day has been, what you desire. For me, I'm more prone to focus more on what I want to create and where I'm headed and what I really see for my life and dreaming really big versus writing out my day-to-day experience. For me, that doesn't really, I don't have a lot of, to me personally, I don't have a lot of value in writing out my day-to-day experience because that's just not the way that I process pain or life in general. So if you want to, dig into self-discovery, pull out some momentum, just journal. And you can do it the way that I do or do it the way that others do, which is the day-to-day thing. Another way that you can tap into a bit of self-discovery is by meditating. Meditation gets this rap where it has to be like your thoughts are completely absent and you're void of all things and you're just sitting there and suspended in your own mind, I guess. And that's just so far from the truth. Meditation is just the art and the practice of observing your thoughts, of quieting your mind as best as you can, and being a little bit more in control of what enters your mind and what doesn't. And one way that you can start meditating a little bit easier is by doing guided meditations. There's a plethora on YouTube. I guarantee there's a bunch on Spotify and Apple Music, but they're everywhere. You can even find some on Google if you want to read them. To me, that doesn't feel as natural than just listening to someone and sitting in silence and, allowing the guided meditation to kind of guide me on this journey. But it's a great way, and the more that you practice, it's called a meditation practice for a reason. So the more that you practice, the more that it will become a little bit easier and it'll flow more and it'll be all good. Okay? Another way of self-discovery, and this is something that has always been such a interesting part of my life, is getting creative. Now, it's so funny. My dad recently, he was looking at one of my paintings from, I think, freshman year of high school, not college, of high school. And he was like, Brittany, you're really a good painter. And I'm like, Dad, you just love me. That's pretty much it. And maybe there's some truth to both, right? He just loves me and he also appreciates the way that I see the world through my art. Really wonderful. I don't really consider myself a really great painter or artist in that way, but one way I love to be creative is by DIY projects. I love restoring furniture. I love restoring old things that I find and just can repurpose and reuse it and just make it my own. And then it also has a little bit of a story. And every time I do something creative like that, I feel so empowered. Look at what I created. It came from my thought onto paper into reality. And oh my gosh, it's so amazing. That is like one way to really self-discover, discover yourself, discover your passions, discover your purpose. You know, some people like creative things like in the arts. So another part of my life is singing. I love to sing. I used to sing in like choir and a cappella groups and all these things, but now I just sing to myself, and it's just equally as fun and life-giving as before. Another aspect of self-discovery is prayer. Sitting and praying, asking for what you want, praying to the God that you serve, and understanding wholeheartedly that without a doubt you are deeply and just unequivocally, unconditionally loved, and nothing is going to pull you from that love. And praying to that God and seeing how he answers your prayer is so powerful. Such an amazing, amazing layer of self-discovery. And one way that you can do that is by keeping a prayer journal, or some people call it a manifestation journal. And you write out everything that you are asking for, whether it's peace within your heart or a new car or whatever. You know, the sky's the limit. You are allowed to ask for whatever you want. And just see how God presents those things to you, how those things show up. Because chances are it will not show up as you envisioned it, but it will be 12 times better. Always and forever, it's always better. And it's always exactly what we need when we need it at the right time, because that's what divine timing is. Another way for self-discovery is, and this one's a little bit deeper. This is getting down to the pocket of the fears that you have. What are those fears that you hold? Is it that you're afraid of speaking on stage? You're afraid of failure. You're afraid of success. You're afraid of being intimately seen or intimately known. Whatever those things are, write all of those out. Get a hard look at what those things are, and then identify, how is me believing this serving me? Is it keeping me from experiencing a life filled with vulnerability? A life filled with pleasure and passion, because I'm so afraid of avoiding the pain. When we're in the midst of self-discovery, and one thing I've discovered in myself is that sometimes I avoid pain by limiting myself, not showing up as big or as bold as I should because of fear. And fear, I can't remember who said it, but the greatest fear is fear itself. And I know that's so silly that I can't remember who said that, but I'm sure somebody does know. One of you guys know out there who said that. And but it's so true, right? Like, we are so afraid of fear itself that we stop ourselves from living the lives that we truly want. And we stop ourselves from being the most authentic version of who we are. Coming into your self-discovery, or understanding yourself in a more discovered way, is the art of excavation. It's digging. It's going into the deeper parts of ourselves and our soul to uncover why we believe what we believe and why we fear and feel the things that we feel and fear. Some of that stuff that we're holding on to doesn't really even belong to us. It's just a story that's been passed down. It's just a piece of conditioning that's been kind of implanted in our minds from society, from our families, from experience, but it's not necessarily true. And so the art of self-discovery lies in those moments, lies in the underbelly of your subconscious. That work is a little bit harder. And it's a journey. Again, it's never going to end once you open up that door, but it's the most spectacular journey you'll ever go on. I promise. If you are interested in learning more about this excavation process of self-discovery, I would love to have a conversation with you. You can schedule a free connection call using the link that's down below in the comments section. And if you want to join me on a journey, then we can talk more about what that looks like. Other than that, please take some of these tools, see if you can start to uncover who you really are, who you've always been, not the person you've been for other people, not the person your parents wants you to be, but the person who you are and who you want to be, and your authentic self with all of your authentic gifts. And take yourself on a self-discovery journey. My name is Brittany Green, Get It Out Coaching. If you like this, please subscribe to my channel. There's tons of videos about love, life, relationships, beauty, health, all of the things. And like this video.